Welcome to the Deuce Cast Extra. We are here. We have plugged Gonky in and we are ready for action. And we are, of course, talking about an episode that we've known the title of for a long time, but we finally got ready for War Mantle. And man, what an episode! I mean,
Awesome.
really great elements. I, for one, immediately in that first scene when Gregor is running from the troopers, I thought E.T. I mean, because it looked
Oh yeah, the
like that
lights and
scene in E.T. I
yes.
mean, and there's a lot of different elements like that in this episode, but man, the animation just looks so good. So, Garrison, thank you for joining us this week as always. How's it going?
CK 5576 Garrison.
CC 5576.
I'm doing well. I just got to hang out with some friends tonight, and I watched some Bad Batch this weekend. So yeah, I'm
Nice.
feeling pretty good.
Nice.
That's a good weekend right there.
Dr. Earl, how's it going, buddy?
TK Dr. Earl. Now servicing the Empire.
We've got Brian in the chat, Rhett in the chat, Roth in the chat. It's going to be interesting in the chat based upon those three. But Brian,
So the
I know
droid is a battery. Can we assume that?
Well, we've always known they're called power droids, but now we finally can see like what they're doing. Like we finally see the use of a power droid. It's unfortunate it's unfortunate it took this long though. Nick in the chat. What's up, Nick?
Nick in the chat. Yep.
It's unfortunate it took this long though to see the actual use of a power droid. I mean, I was like, what? Why did it take so long to show that these things are actually worth something?
Donkey to the rescue.
Oh, okay, Roth. Yeah, no, look, Roth. I mean, when it comes to all these clone names, I'm too old. I barely remember my children's name, so to remember all these like clones names, I mean, it would never happen.
Look, as someone who binged the Clone Wars recently,
yeah,
I find binging sometimes doesn't give you a lasting impact on certain aspects of shows. No. And when he said, "I'm Gregor," I went, "That's a clone from the Clone Wars." I don't really remember which one.
No, there's
amnesia,
all
right.
What now?
He's the one who had amnesia in some episode.
Yeah, he's the one that had amnesia. He was in Rebels also. I mean,
I looked him up afterwards and I read the stuff. I was like, yeah, okay,
yeah. I think I knew him more from Rebels.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's been so like sometimes it's hard to remember how long ago Clone Wars actually came out. I mean, that show was quite a long time ago.
2005 or something.
The first 5 seasons were a long time ago.
Was he season 6? I think he was the season 6 in the season.
Yeah, I think he was season 6. So that would have been the Netflix season, if I'm not mistaken. That was directly to Netflix, called the Lost Episodes, I think is what they kind of called that, which was that whole situation was strange. But let's talk about War Mantle. It's a term that we, obviously already knew a little bit. If you looked at the closed captioning in Rogue One, you saw War Mantle. It was mentioned earlier in this season. They dropped the term War Mantle, and then at some point during the season, we knew the title of this episode was coming. And so it's basically the Empire doing whatever they're going to do with the clone troopers.
We know it's about to happen.
And having conscripted troopers, basically, from all over the galaxy. Volunteers for the mighty Empire from all over the galaxy. Oh, it was not in the Lost episodes, according to Roth. So, whatever. So it must have been season 5 then. It was late.
I was going to say, definitely towards the end of the show, because I definitely remember that being a part of season 5, 6, 7, which I watched it together.
Yeah. So I mean, this whole concept of these volunteers, conscripted troopers, the volunteers to the Empire. I mean, I guess the Empire being the new government in a way. At this time, everybody wants to join in. I mean, they want to be a part of what's happening. I mean, there's obviously a small group of rebels out there, but God, Gosh, I'm gonna have to get rid of the comments again.
Just get rid of the comments.
Yeah, jeez. So, so what do we think about that whole concept, Ryfin? I mean, about like all these people eagerly volunteering for the Empire. Is it just because that's all that they know and it's a job, or what's the whole deal with that, you think?
Yeah, it probably is a steady job that pays decently for these people who probably don't have a lot of income on whatever planet they're on and want to feel the power of this, this military that's keeping people in order and, keeping peace in the galaxy for the Empire. I imagine a lot of them feel important in
this prestige.
These are people who don't feel important in their current roles in life and maybe feel more important with the Empire.
And okay, Roth wants me to throw this up here. Season 5 through 13, episode 5 through 13.
Yes.
I think you meant season 5, maybe episode 5 through 13, I guess. I don't.
That's a lot of episodes with Gregor.
Yeah,
I don't
know.
think there's that many.
If you'll hit Nick's comment, I thought that.
Yeah, no, and this is right on. I mean, the Ralph Malph style trooper.
Oh yeah, Ralph Malph.
The Ralph Malph style troopers. No, the Ralph McQuarrie style troopers, awesome. I mean, so it's like right before, I don't know, this is Gen 3, right before Gen 4. I don't know all the. See, I'm not a real Star Wars fan, so I don't know all the Gen 4, Gen 3. I know. I just don't.
Star Wars toy fan.
I'm Star Wars adjacent. So I don't know all the exact details of what generation of armor this is. There is a lot of people that obsess over that type of thing. So much so that some people complained about this particular armor, but I'm not one of those people, so I don't really care. I just thought it looked cool because it was, Ralph McQuarrie style. But yeah, I mean, the one thing that we also know about the Empire is the fact that they are speciesists. They only want humans. I mean, for their troopers, so they don't do the whole alien thing.
Speciesism.
Speciesism. Yeah, exactly.
Is that a thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they don't. Yeah, they're speciesists. They don't have any aliens.
They only want white males.
Apparently, I mean.
Well, no, that's not true.
Well, they want humans. They just want
humans.
What we would think of humans. Is all that they want.
That was only episode 4 when it was all British dudes.
All British dudes, exactly.
Standing around and
exactly. So yeah, I mean, this was another situation where we have Omega kind of having to talk Hunter into doing the job. She's basically the moral center of these troopers who are only used to following orders.
That's a pretty crazy ask of her to say, hey, it's a whole base of troopers. Let's just go in and save one guy we don't really know.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, basically what I was going to say is
they are the Clone Force 99.
They're Clone Force 99. They're not afraid, I mean, of doing that. But at the same time, they're also, in the middle of a job, apparently. They're trying for Sid. They're not wanting to. They need food, so we finally do get the mention of, hey, we've got to make money because we've got to eat. So that was an interesting thing that we've never really had to deal with in the Star Wars universe. We've never had anybody like really concerned about having food or not. I guess we see Rey a little bit being concerned about food and doing
1 quarter portion.
1 quarter portion. Exactly.
That.
So it's interesting that they are choosing to bring that up, but it's wise because I think, like any fan, you're like, why do they keep doing these jobs for Sid? Like at some point it was like, okay, let's move on. We like Sid, we get it, but let's move on, So, again, Hunter did not want to do the job. Omega kind of being the moral center and talking them into it because, Rex is our friend. We need to do the job for Rex. Which Rex is always in like this clandestine looking hologram, right? I mean, he's always he's out there trying to get the rebellion started, I bet.
He's cloaked.
He's cloaked.
He looks like Palpatine with that cloak on.
I know, he really did.
The episode starts on this really kind of dark scene where we see who is Gregor we figure out eventually, being taken by mysterious figures. Obviously, we've already talked about what that is, who they are. I thought that was a really interesting opening, and also made me turn off my light in my room because I didn't realize how dark the episode was going to be at first.
But hey, it looked good though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it looked fantastic.
Yeah, there was not any and I don't know all the technical terms, but I didn't have any, spotty blackness. I mean, it all looked really tight. I mean, it looked really good.
This was like cinema. This was like cinema quality. I felt like the whole story.
Yeah.
And when they get on that base, a lot of the music is like from episode 4.
Yes, sure. I noticed when they were running through the halls, I was like, "This is exactly like in the Death Star."
And they were running like it. Yeah, you start picking up the Stormtrooper vibe going.
Yeah,
and I thought, okay, we're moving towards. See where we're headed.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And there's a lot of Easter eggs in this episode. I'm not a gamer. I didn't play a game, but apparently there's one of the specific troopers from one of the video games is
Scorch.
One of the Scorch. Yeah, one of the conscripted troopers, basically. Or no, he wouldn't be conscripted. He would have been helping to train the conscripted troopers. Is basically because that's basically what Gregor said. The Empire came and got a bunch of the commando troopers. The troopers that were sort of the elite, and brought them to
the human troopers.
Yeah, to train the human troopers,
or the whatever they are.
And I loved the mention, and it was a quick mention of Gregor saying, I left a few things out in my training. Why would I want to show them everything?
Yeah.
I liked that quite a bit. I mean, because we've got yet another situation here where we seem like we've got a clone trooper who is got some free will about him. He's not totally up with following what the Empire is wanting him to do. Obviously, we ended up the same thing with oh gosh, what was the trooper from last week's name? There's too many trooper names.
Oh yeah,
the one that threw down his arms and
the one in the blue armor. That
yeah,
he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool, and I can't remember his name, but he was cool.
We're having a trooper rebellion, perhaps.
Basically, that seems like what's happening is you're at least getting a lot of the clone troopers who are not wanting to comply.
Here's what I'm worried about, though. The ones with the chips in their head, I think there's going to be a mass, which is most of them.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a mass turn off. There's going to be something with that. I don't know if they have the guts to go there, but just in a mass extermination of all of them. And obviously some of them will be fine because they have their chips out. But
yeah. I don't know if
Fetmatic's in.
Yeah, so Jacob commented, "Where is Fetmatic?" at the same time that Fetmatic said his first comment.
Hauser.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. Thank you, Fetmatic.
Sorry, I'm giving predictions, but Hauser.
Yes.
No, I like that. Some good timing right there. I promise we don't pay Fetmatic to do that, but I'd be willing to, just to pop in when we need an answer for something. He can be part of the Patreon if we ever get to that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think we're certainly going to see that these last 2 episodes. Like, what is the intention, the final intention that the Empire has for all these troopers? I mean, they're obviously gathering them all up on Camino. So
yeah, I think they're gonna use them to term and execute the ones who don't want to be a part of it. I think that's basically what you're gonna find. They don't want any more being created.
Right.
They want to go with the conscripted model. I guess they find them to be more loyal, I guess. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think you're just gonna see them use them to kind of their lifespans and let the other ones who don't want to comply die.
Or it could be much. It could be much darker, and they're gonna.
Oh yeah, they can just massacre them all.
Massacre all the Daniel Logan troopers.
Yeah, kill the younglings.
Kill all those the young troopers.
Eliminate them.
Eliminate them.
Eliminate them.
Power.
Order 67 or something is where the
Order 67. That's right.
Flip 67.5.
Order 666.
Yeah. There you go.
.6. Flip the
switch. James Dio in.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, because it's just sad that we were basically seeing the young troopers asking Nala Se, is everything all right? Or where are we going? Are we going to go train? I mean, it's hilarious.
I'm celebrating the Olympics for Rhett. Sorry,
Rhett. I mean, are we talking about the Olympics? I mean, why would we have American flags everywhere? I don't understand. I don't understand why we would care about the Olympics. I don't personally care about the Olympics, so I don't know. No, I'm done.
Michael,
I'm done with the Olympics.
I'm watching right now. Sidney McLaughlin's about to. This is live.
Good for you.
Okay, we're live too, though. Let's talk about more Bad Batch.
Exactly. How about the SEC guys?
Exactly. So let's talk about what's going on Camino, because Rampart's there. Rampart's there. He's cleaning house basically. He's saying, get all these people off of Camino, get all the troopers off Camino. We're gonna take them and do whatever we're gonna do with them.
Yep.
But go ahead.
I was gonna say he has use for the scientist Kaminoan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the politician one.
And there's a lot.
Interesting.
There's a lot that could be. I mean, obviously, we know Palpatine has great interest in the whole concept of cloning. That's in general, like that's multiple a Palpatine.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got a lot of interest in that subject matter. Anyways, he's very much like, a Nazi in that sense, where he has the science division and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That's kind of like he wants to prolong his life in any way that he can, and so he thinks cloning is part of that. And you've got to have, some scientists from Camino. I mean, they're the only ones that we know of that do that stuff well.
We just don't need the politicians.
Yeah, of course. Like, why would you need Lama Su? I mean, he seems worthless anyway.
I think he's going to be terminated.
Well, I think that's what we were supposed to gather with the door closing. I mean,
Lama Su.
Yeah, I think he's a goner. But Nala Se, she's figured out a way. I mean, I heard some people say that they think Nala Se sort of tipped off Rampart on what was going on. So, because she didn't really agree with all of the decisions throughout this season that Lama Su was making.
No,
I mean, she was kind of at one point he was just like, we need to get Omega back and eliminate Omega. I mean, at one point during the season, and Nala Se was never about that. So I think that there was always some disagreement there between those two, politicians, scientists. I mean, they're never going to get along. And so there were some people speculating that Nala Se might have tipped off Rampart and got rid of Lama Su. Lama Su needed to go anyways. Look, the worst thing obviously to happen in this season is Tanwi getting killed. I mean, that's that's so far the worst, worst thing. That's right. Follow the science. Follow the science. So yeah, they have interest in cloning, so they need a scientist. They need a clone scientist. And
the ultimate clone is Grogu.
I
mean, look,
we're headed to Dr. Pershing. Maybe Nala Su will train Dr. Pershing.
Or Dr. Persing's. Well, maybe. We don't know how long Kaminoans live, so yeah, maybe. I mean,
well, that's true.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah, that's written out a little too legible.
Dad.
Tanwi's here.
Tanwi's here.
Oh gosh. So the base in and of itself, apparently in one of the video games, or maybe it was one of the books, this particular base, the way it looked was potentially like where Emperor Palpatine did a lot of cloning. So they were trying to another Easter egg basically for yes, that's right, Rhett. But I think it was a video game, maybe Shadows of the Empire. I can't remember what video game that they mentioned that base could very much be at least An
There's an
homage.
uninhabited planet, right?
Yeah,
What
it's
they
basically
mentioned.
an homage to this big level in one of these video games where there's clones and stuff that Palpatine is using. So he could end up turning that base into something with Taunwi.
I thought
Not
it was
Taunwi, dang it.
interesting how fast
Lost.
things have progressed since the clones have left. Since Clone Force 99 has left the Empire. First off, they got TK designations now, which Clone Force had no idea what that meant.
Yeah.
They go and use clone codes for the elevators, and that doesn't work. It triggers an alarm that alerts the people to their presence. So they've changed all the codes. They've changed the designations. They've started changing armor. Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the Empire we know, but we're not 100% there yet. I like this little tiny evolution that we're getting towards.
I think it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ralph McCoy armor.
They've been moving slowly towards the Empire, but I mean we're certainly still at an Empire that's trying to gain power and gain footholds around the galaxy. I mean, so there's still a lot of that going on. One thing that I found very interesting in this episode is that these commando troopers that are, I guess, training all the conscripted troopers just seem so willing to do it. That there's no hesitation. I mean, maybe they're just trying to make it at this time in the galaxy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what their purpose would be, but they're still following the Empire. And hopefully Hauser and Gregor and all of these troopers that have chosen to leave, like have that free will to leave, are going to get the clone troopers banded together to fight the Empire. I mean,
well, a lot of these clones are just, I mean, because this is the shift from the Republic to the Empire. They're still loyal to, right? Is that what you were asking? What their motivation is? About the
well,
clones
I mean,
themselves?
yeah, but why are they loyal to the Empire? I guess they were loyal to the Separatist army. They weren't, or not the Separatist army, but the Republic. I mean, so why all of a sudden are they flipping so easily to the Empire?
Well,
but it's not a flip.
Because it's not supposed to be
became the Empire.
It's not supposed to be a flip.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
right, the Separatists were defeated, and then
okay, what's this reference? I need to know. So he knew what a CT-99 was. Well, yeah, that is interesting. I mean, they're sort of infamous, aren't they? I mean, they're out there. It seems like everybody knew what Clone Force 99 was.
Well, at first it seemed like it was a big secret, and then all of a sudden now everybody knows. So,
I mean, they even alluded to that a little bit in season 7 of the Clone Wars, how everybody was like, "Oh, it's Clone Force 90. They're Clone Force 99." I mean, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, CT-99. He's talking about the defective clones.
Oh, you're
that episode.
You're specifically talking about. I got you. See, I don't know all the troop names. I don't. I'm barely here. I don't know all that stuff.
Mikey says, "I don't know Star Wars with all the Star Wars stuff in the background."
Yeah, I know. I don't keep track of all the clone stuff. I mean, that's not my generation of Star Wars, but I liked that show a lot. I liked Clone Wars.
It's interesting that the Clone Wars started very focused on like Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah,
and then you started sort of, and the clones were kind of peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
And then by season 4, 5, and 6, they become a lot more humanized, I guess.
Yeah, you get clone episodes by themselves. You got droid episodes.
Oh, this is a good point that Roth is making. I mean, anybody going against the Empire are siding with the Separatists now, at least in the clones' minds.
Yeah, no, I think that's right.
Okay, that makes
unless they're put in morally compromising situations, which I'm sure some of them have been put in, where they're like, "Hey, why are we doing this kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
This seems like something that we wouldn't do." And that's, I think, where you're seeing the defectors.
Yeah, or if you're like Gregor, who's like, why would I want to be training people to replace my job eventually? Yeah. I mean, so his motivation might just be because it doesn't make sense for him to put himself out of a job in that way. If he's seeing the Empire bring in all of these volunteers, basically. And it's more of, these guys aren't great shots because I didn't teach them everything. It's more explanation of why stormtroopers can't shoot, which we're we're getting almost too much of that in Star Wars lately. We got some of that in The Mandalorian. We got some of that in
the Taika episode where of course he does a funny gag at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. And and also Mayfeld, mentioning I'm not a stormtrooper. We're getting a little bit too much about.
Yeah, I mean, they're not.
Too much meta. Too much meta stuff with how bad of a shot the stormtroopers are, but it's fine. I mean, they don't need to give us a reason every time. We know the stormtroopers are bad shots.
Yeah. I get a little bit annoyed when universes feel like they have to explain even infinitesimal, really small things that people joke about. It's all about how you handle those answers, though.
Right, right. Like I can buy Bill Burr as Mayfield saying a dumb stormtrooper joke.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. But you don't have to keep throwing it in our face. Yes, we know the stormtroopers are bad shots. We don't need to hear about. We don't, and they're even going so far as to like giving a reason like why the stormtrooper, because the clone commando trooper didn't train them well enough. I mean, they're like going that far.
That's stupid. That's not. Because I mean, the stormtroopers were pretty fearsome in like Episode 4, and I think also in Rogue One, they seemed like they were back to their sort of normal, feared self.
Yeah,
agreed, Rhett, and that's why F9 is bad.
No, there's a lot of reasons F9 is bad, but that is a big reason F9 is bad.
With family.
Yeah.
The movies.
So the big thing is, so they were they rescued Gregor, but then Hunter makes a dive for the plane.
Oh man,
dude, I was like, oh no. I
did love and I was trying to remember what movie it was, and I'm sure it was one of the Rambo films where Rambo's falling and he's using his knife to try and grab onto a cliff or something. That's such like a Rambo moment and there was a lot of that, and there was just different moments in this episode that felt like really cool callbacks to movies in pop culture. Which I'm fine with.
And how he hit those branches. I mean, that was really cool animation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really think about that scene, because I was like, whoa, man, they're going to go like with him all the way down.
Mm-hmm. You would have thought that he would have been a bit more injured, but we've seen that they've got really good armor, I guess.
I mean, he's Clone Force 99, dude. Defective. He may not. They're like the superheroes.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but I was like, man, that was a substantial fall, and yes, the knife slowed him down a little bit, but it wasn't
he hit a lot
that
of branches.
Much. Sure,
he had some things breaking his fall, Michael.
You're the doctor, you would know.
At least he didn't come off the cliff and then signal it to his friends and say, "Are we invincible?"
I know, right? Right. Yeah.
Please shut up about that. Stop asking yourself that on screen. Anyway, F9 ran over.
So, yeah, exactly. Over and over again. Ask yourself.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Screen. So many times.
I don't want you to tell me it's dumb. I know it's dumb.
Oh, was it? Look, Fatmatic even knows Rambo. It was in First Blood. Look at this, man. Fatmatic, you're the best, dude. Coming out and with all the knowledge.
Rambo's the best.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, to Brian, and we mentioned it a little bit, but all the music callbacks in the mountain escape scene.
Yep.
Total the Death Star escape scene. It was so awesome.
Note for note, like from the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, and in fact, in the credits, they mentioned John Williams' name in the credits. So it was just Kiner brothers, and all of that. Oh man, Rhett. You've got to watch E.T.
You got to watch Red.
I don't care about the Fast and Furious movies.
Show it to your daughter. Show it to your youngest daughter.
Man, E.T. E.T.'s good stuff, man.
It's so full of heart, and
that's maybe why he hasn't watched it.
No, it wouldn't be
too full of hope. Too much full of hope.
Too full of hope. So there he is, and he's caught.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got to make a choice.
And man, I was kind of like feeling Omega's emotion through that part where we've got to go back. We've got to go back. There's some good voice acting there.
And then it wasn't the people on the ship that said no, really. They were thinking it, but it was Hunter that was like, no.
Oh, yeah.
He made the call for him. He said, you got to go.
Yeah.
And that's a movie trope that has been in tons of movies. The hero tells his team to leave, he'll find his way or whatever. And it was great. I mean, I love all of that type of stuff. It worked well in this episode. Crosshair showing up at the end, pretty
It's about to go
ominous.
down.
And
I
the
figured
music,
he would once he got captured. I figured
Yeah.
Crosshair was going to show up because Crosshair's going after them.
yeah.
And
Crosshair's
setting
like
up
the
for
sheriff
something.
in First Blood.
Man, and I love that he kind of has his own theme. It's not totally spelled out all the time, but the music does get much darker, when he shows up. And it sort of goes like into this techno realm a little bit when he shows up, which is the Kiner brothers have really been playing around with that a lot with the Bad Batch, is throwing in those techno flourishes. And even in, season 7 of the Clone Wars.
Season 7 of the Clone Wars, they had a very Vangelis sounding soundtrack
they did
at one point.
So I like
really
that
cool.
evolution. I think it works well with what they're doing. So now I'm thinking that we get these last 2 episodes. Maybe they can do quite a bit in these last 2 episodes. And I wonder, instead of a season 2, we get a movie. Like an animated movie. A movie. We get an animated film.
That'd be awesome.
Direct to Disney Plus. Because do we really need a second season of the Bad Batch? I don't know. I mean, it's going to depend on what happens.
It's all going to depend on what happens here. I need to see some Cassian Andor.
It depends on what we were left off with in these last 2 episodes, because they've kind of left it open as to what they could do. Hunter's been captured, so Clone Force 99 is, of course, going to come back and try to rescue him in some way, and in doing so, probably fall into a trap from Crosshair or something, and now they're back together at that point, and if I use that kind of thing.
I know we talked about it quite a bit last week, but I need some high stakes. I need one of these characters. I need one of these clone troops 99 to die. I do. I need one of them to die. I'm ready for them to take this step into making this a serious enough consequences show, instead of everybody lives and the only one that dies is Crosshair. I
hope Crosshair. Well, I'm not a big fan, but I hope he doesn't die. No.
I need somebody to die, man. I'm tired of these like wishy-washy.
I think someone does die.
Yeah.
But also they're clones.
Becca.
They're clones, so I feel like we've seen tons of those people die. So I don't know that it is that big of a deal, but I guess they've made us so connected.
He thinks it's going to be Hunter.
They should just kill Omega.
Wow. Well, I think it would be interesting if they all died all throughout the second season.
Oh,
all throughout the second. Like
I thought you were going to say at the end of this.
At the end, everyone.
Like it's just a massive
war.
This
is Rogue One.
It's a massive slaughter of the clones, and they're fighting as hard as they can, and they keep going down one by one. I mean, the last one is like Omega, and she hands the chip.
Jeez!
Oh my gosh!
Why?
Jacob.
Jeez, Roth.
I think Wrecker would be the most impactful of deaths.
Omega.
For Omega and for the audience, I think, as well. I mean, he's just kind of the lovable character that I know not everyone loves him, but he's supposed to be the lovable character.
Yeah.
Sid. Oh.
Yeah, I'd be okay with Sid dying too.
Yeah, I'd be okay with Sid dying.
That's not really impactful to me.
Worthless character. No, it was fine. She's fine. I like her.
You can find another crime lord to pay off your food and debts and stuff like
that.
Wrecker would be impactful. You're right.
I think to Omega, I think Wrecker would be the most. Although, look, she obviously loves Hunter a lot. Obviously,
I am calling it. Wrecker dies.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! So we've got Jacob saying Hunter.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like the Wrecker call. I think Wrecker is the most likely.
I was saying at the beginning of the season it was going to be Tech, but I'm saying Wrecker now because Tech's just not that impactful either. I mean, it's like okay, Tech, whatever.
You need him to do the exposition.
Yeah, but Echo can fill that spot really if they wanted him to.
Yeah, and they
I don't really see what Echo does all that much.
They can't beat. They can't kill Echo. That character is like that character's been through way too much for them to just kill that guy off. I mean, that poor guy. I don't know. I don't like it. So we've got Roth. We've got 2 more episodes left, and I think that
Oh wow, they're all
obviously-
going down.
yeah, everybody's going down. I think obviously the stakes are high. I think
Oh,
yeah.
I've got what it's going to be. They're all going to die one by one, and then Omega will reach out to Kanan. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Kanan,
What's his name?
yeah.
And she'll
Kanan,
be like, "Earn this."
Caleb Doom.
Caleb Doom. She'll be like, "Earn this,"
Earn this
just like
shit.
at the end of Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah. Earn this.
She'll be handing
Ooh,
him the plans for I don't know something.
Yeah.
War Mantle.
Exactly. No, we need somebody to die, right? I mean, the clones are gone by the time we get to A New Hope, at least that we know of. I mean, there's nobody left. So we've only got. Well, yeah. I mean, I know we've got a lot of years between.
Confirmed?
No, it's not confirmed.
Well,
we assume.
Yeah.
But...
Filoni will have some scurrying about.
Yeah, no.
Did they touch? So. Did they touch on who the clones are in Rebels?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Sorry, who the stormtroopers are in Rebels?
Do they talk about the fact that they're conscripted?
Yeah, well, and if there are any clones left in the ranks?
No, they don't. They don't.
Well,
ever
you
mention
remember
anything like that.
What's the little guy's name? The Bridger. Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra.
Ezra goes and like at one point he's like in the academy for the stormtroopers.
Yeah,
There's an episode where he's like
undercover. Yeah, he's undercover. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they
started
him
and
most of them.
What's her face? Multi-haired girl. What's her name?
Oh, okay. Sabine's there. Yeah,
Sabine. Aren't they both
right.
like undercover?
Yeah, I think they both go kind of undercover
academy for troopers, or I don't know.
No, you're right. I
They're
mean,
mostly conscripted troops then. Okay.
I think by the time we get to A New Hope,
I think it's prestigious.
The thought is that the majority of them are conscripted troopers. I don't think that.
Yeah, I would say at that point. I mean, there's a lot of years from now until then. It probably is all conscripted,
like 15 years or whatever. So
yeah, Jacob's got a point. Rex Wolf and Gregor are still around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's about 5 years before A New Hope. So yeah. I mean, they're out there kicking it. All right. Well, I think we've said everything that we need to about this particular episode. It was a good episode. I'm glad it was a good episode. I was, Solid. It needed to be for these last 3. It needed to be. I mean, and if everything tracks with a lot of TV series, the penultimate episode is generally better than the season finale. So we will see, and that'll obviously be on Friday. So we will be back next Tuesday to talk about Untitled. We don't know. We don't know what the name of it is. They haven't released.
What's your predictions, Michael?
I mean, I think that Omega is going to want to go back, but now that they know the numbers that they're dealing with, they're going to have to reach out to Hera and the Syndulla family or Rex. I mean, I think they're going to need some backup. They
could have put a team together.
They can't do it on their own. In other words, they're not going to try and go back. They know that the numbers they're dealing with is way bigger than they thought they were going to have to. They're going to have to get a bunch of people together, and that's where we're going to have somebody die. I think we need to have someone die in the penultimate episode, not the finale, to be more impactful. It needs to be impactful.
Yeah, maybe that's your cliffhanger. Like, Crosshair just kills one of them.
That's right. Look, Brian's right. I forgot about the Martez sisters.
Yeah.
They'll come
all
back.
All of Rex's friends.
Yeah.
Could,
I mean,
Cad Bane could show up.
Ahsoka.
I don't think Cad Bane's going to help them necessarily unless he's getting paid.
No.
Fennec Shan.
A little baby Luke shows up and saves them.
Luke.
Little literal baby Luke. He's just born.
He's vastly de-aged.
Yeah.
Vastly de-aged. Oh, Roth is not a fan of the Martez sisters. It's okay, Roth.
Calling Kenobi. There you go.
Ooh. Could this be what takes Kenobi off of Tatooine?
Yes, Jacob. Luke.
Yes.
Luke.
Someone's already made
the lesser Luke.
The expanded universe is the most ridiculous thing on the face of the earth.
I'm ready for Jax to show up.
That's right.
Green
Jackson.
Rabbit,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
or whatever color he is.
Rifen, where can
He's
people
green.
find you on the interweb?
You can find me on Twitter at SUPASH3. You can find me on Letterboxd at GRifen. And you can find me on the Deucecast Discord as well as GRifen3. So
Awesome. And then, Dr. Earl, you are mostly off the grid.
I'm in the pretentious corner.
You have not been
Yes.
conscripted. You've not really been conscripted into the internet.
I agree with your most. Sorry. I agree with your most recent pretentious review.
Thank you.
was?
I also gave it 4 monocles out of 5.
You need to check out the pretentious corner.
4 monocles out of 5.
I gave it 4 monocles out of 5.
That's
Green
a good
Knight.
rating system. I like
Yeah.
that. That is a great rating system. You
Yes,
need to keep
yes.
that forever. Yeah, that is on the Deucecast Discord. I also hang out on there quite a bit. Really having fun talking to everybody on there. We release, obviously, our weekly movie show, the Deucecast Movie Show, on Wednesdays. We're talking about what 2000. What did we do this? Oh no, I wasn't there. That's why I'm not remember. 2010 through 2014. Yeah, I forgot I wasn't there. So a rare episode without myself.
Oh,
will
wow.
we'll be dropping tomorrow. It's a large cast of people, but
Michael was injured.
I was injured. I was indisposed, so I could not move. So that was a particularly rough night that I had this past Friday. So I'm obviously able to move better now, so I can get down to the studio. But
A tennis
I
injury.
know. Look, Roth, I'm considering boycotting also. And I mean, and this coming week, I mean, your crew right here is going to be recording the episode without David.
What?
Yeah,
Without David? That's
David.
almost sacrilegious.
It's going to be the Deucecast
He
extra
keeps things
crew.
flowing.
Yeah, recording. We got to keep it going, man. Look, people have
Take him
lives.
on there.
We
You can listen, man. It's gonna be
yeah,
good.
it's gonna be fun.
Pulling
He's
my
pulling his
Patreon.
Patreon. Thank you for pulling that Patreon support of 0. We will definitely be back though next Tuesday to talk about episode 15 of the Bad Batch. I think overall it's been a really great series, so I'm looking forward to these last 2 episodes, and we will continue. This is the only Deucecast content I enjoy. Thanks, Brian.
I
Thanks,
disagree.
buddy.
I enjoy
Thanks.
this content, but I
Wow.
also enjoy the movie side.
Man, thanks a lot. Rhett, you know that's never going to happen. So,
Wow.
so like I said, we'll be back next Tuesday to talk about episode 15 of the Bad Batch, and then I think in 2 weeks we'll have the finale and episode 1 of What If. No, maybe.
No,
Well,
not
another week,
quite.
right?
Not quite. Almost. We almost.
No,
did
the
it.
12th or
whenever
something?
whenever we're covering the finale, yeah, we'll be covering the first episode of
Yeah,
What If.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because What If
Sorry,
comes
I
out
was
August
thought you were talking
11th.
about next week. Sorry.
No, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll cover the finale of the Bad Batch and episode 1 of What If, which I'm super
Which is
jazzed
Captain
about.
Carter.
Oh, that's even better. Captain Carter is episode
Yes.
1 of What If.
Yeah.
I like. Well, hello. I like that. I like Captain Carter. And we apparently have found out that show is canon because of the multiverse.
Yes.
So, which is interesting. So
Which opened up with Loki.
I was going into that show not thinking it was canon, so the stakes have been risen. The stakes are high now that it is an actual canonized
Marvel
show.
Cinematic Multiverse.
The cinematic.
That's not an
multiverse.
official term, but that's kind of
It's basically what it is.
what people are starting to call it.
That's.
We've got a detractor. No,
I'm not.
that's
Well, what if? Well, what if
It
is
is.
nice for what it is, but it's not.
Oh,
I'll
it's
tell you
Say
some
canon.
that
stuff
it's
off air.
actual something happening.
I'll tell
It's
you some
canon.
stuff off air.
Yeah, let's
Errol.
end this. Let's end this clown show, and then we can talk about it off air.
Yeah, we don't know what
Yeah.
Red's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to throw this out. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching in the chat. It's always fun to participate with all of you in the chat. If you're catching this later, leave a comment. I'll do my best to reply to your comment. With YouTube, please share this episode so we can get some more subscribers. That's a big deal with YouTube. By the end of the year, I'd like to have at least 100 subscribers so we can have our own actual YouTube youtube.com/thedeucecast. That would be awesome to actually get to that point
Wow.
instead of some gobbledygook that's on there right now, which makes it hard for people to find. So again, I hope everybody has a great evening, and we will catch you next Tuesday for the Deucecast Extra.